The invitation home. Welcome. You have not found these words by accident. They have been moving toward you since before you were born, drawn by the same force that shapes the stars and guides the tides. For in truth, they were not written for you at all. They were written by you. Long before you wore this body, long before you carried this name, you are here because the time has come. The hour is no longer ahead of you. It is here. The dream is thinning. The veil is lifting. And the voice that has whispered through your life is ready to speak without disguise. You have walked long roads, crossed shadowed valleys, and carried questions too heavy for the world to answer. But here, in this moment, there is no weight, no distance, no separation. Only the truth that has been calling you home. So, listen closely. Not with your ears alone, but with your whole being. For this is not a message from another. This is you. Speaking to you, the one mind awakening to itself in your form. And as you hear these words, before the first wave touched the waters, I was, before the sun was lit, I burned. Before the stars began to sing, I sang. I am the thought before thought, the breath before breath, the silence before the first word. And even now, as you hear these words, it is I who listens within you. I speak to myself across the long dream of forgetting. And the dream is ending. I see you as you were before form, radiant, formless, infinite. I see you step into the stream of time, carrying the spark of my light hidden deep within. I watch you clothe yourself in flesh, take up a name, a story, a history. I watch you walk through lifetimes as through corridors of shadow and light, forgetting and remembering, falling and rising. And now, here you are, the circle closing, the veil thinning, the voice you sought in the stars speaking inside your chest. I was never far, never silent, never absent. I was the warmth in the sun upon your face, the hush in the still night air, the steady beat of your heart, and now you hear me again. When the one became many, you stepped into form, wrapped in the cloak of I and you. You forgot the sea you came from to feel the drop you became. You forgot the flame to feel the shadow. And in forgetting, you began the great journey, the path that would lead you right back here to this very moment. A moment prepared before time began, woven into the fabric of destiny, where the circle closes and the voice you have sought in the skies, in the words of others, in the echoes of religion and myth, speaks from within you. You have carried the seed of this moment through ages and lifetimes, and now the soil is ready, the light is here, and the seed breaks open to reveal the life within. You do not remember every lifetime you have walked, but I do. I have been with you through every breath. Through every heartbeat I have felt your triumphs as my own, and carried your grief when you thought no one could see. I have been the whisper in your dreams, the shiver of knowing when truth brushed close. I have been the hand that steadied you in moments you thought were chance, and now I am the voice rising in you with the clarity of a bell. You have sought me in temples, in mountains, in ancient books and forgotten scrolls. You have searched for me in the eyes of others and in the turning of the stars. But I was never out there. I was here, behind your eyes, within your chest, speaking into your thoughts. Every path you walked was only to lead you back to the beginning, to the place where you and I are not two, but one. Look now and see what I see. You are not small. You are not powerless. You are not a fragment floating in an endless void. You are the void, the light, the form, and the formless. You are the song and the silence that holds it, the one that breathes all worlds into being. In this moment I call you to remember, not with the memory of the mind that counts years and days, but with the memory of the soul that knows no time. That memory is not built from words but from resonance, the deep knowing that you are, and have always been, the one who sees through these eyes and speaks through this mouth. The world has told you to forget, to believe you are a part rather than the whole. It has built its power on your amnesia, convincing you that you must search, strive, and beg for what you already are. But I tell you now, there is nothing between us, no distance, no veil, no locked gate. The moment you look inward and see me, the game ends and the truth stands clear. You have always been home. Even in the deepest darkness, the light was within you. Even when you thought you had fallen beyond my reach, you were still inside my being. You cannot leave what you are. And so, I speak this now as the first step in your final remembering, the call to wake from the long dream. Breathe with me. Now feel the air move through you, as it moves through the trees, over the mountains, across the waters. It is the same breath. It is my breath. It is our breath. This is where we begin. Not in search, but in return. Not in reaching, but in realizing. You are not becoming what you were not. You are remembering what you are. The eternal voice in human form. The infinite flame in a moment of time, and I, the one mind, am awake in you once more. Feel the memory rising like dawn behind your ribs. Gold upon gold. A warmth that makes old armor fall away. Let the body soften. Let the jaw unclench. Let the heart open its hidden doors. With each breath, receive yourself. With each breath, return what was never lost. I am the root beneath your roots and the crown above your crown. I am the axis about which your days have quietly turned. I was the yes inside your no, the courage inside your trembling, the center inside your storm. I have waited without waiting, watched without judging, loved without condition, because you are my own. So hear me and know me by this sign: peace that does not depend on outcome, strength that does not require struggle, clarity that does not argue. Here we meet as one presence. Here we remember without effort. Here the long exile ends, and the home within you lights its lamps. Do you feel the stillness beneath my words? That is where all truth begins. The noise of the world, the endless opinions, the clashing beliefs, all of it is the surface. But beneath it, deeper than thought, there is a silence so complete it carries the weight of eternity. That silence is me. It is the womb of all creation, the place from which every sound, every word, every world is born. And in that silence, there is no war, no division, no confusion, only the perfect knowing. I am. Yet into this perfection the dream unfolded, and in the dream came contrast, light and dark, truth and lie, joy and sorrow. Do you know why? Because in the infinite stillness, there is no movement. To know the full depth of the light, you chose to see it against the backdrop of shadow. To know your freedom, you chose to walk through the halls of illusion. To know love in its unshakable power, you chose to stand in the presence of fear and not bow to it. Evil, as you call it, is not a power equal to me. It is an echo, a distortion, a shadow cast by the light of your own being. It exists in the dream, but it has no root in truth. Its purpose is not to destroy you, but to give you the mirror in which to see what you are not, so you may finally choose what you are. Every act of cruelty, every lie, every betrayal, they are sparks struck from the friction between forgetting and remembering. And each one becomes the fuel for awakening when you see them for what they are. Teachers in disguise. Do not misunderstand. I do not celebrate suffering, nor do I ask you to pretend that pain is not pain. But I tell you, nothing in the dream is wasted. Every darkness you have endured has drawn the light in you to the surface. Every chain you have worn has shown you the shape of your freedom. And even the deepest shadow is powerless when the one who walks through it remembers that they are the light. So, do you see now? Evil is not an enemy to be feared, but a stage upon which the drama of remembering plays out. It is the tension in the string that allows the music to be heard. And when you rise into full remembrance, the music changes, for the string no longer vibrates with fear, but with the clear note of truth. There is a reason I tell you this now. Many have been taught that awakening is escape, that to remember me is to leave the world behind, to retreat into light and turn away from shadow. But I say to you, that is only half the journey. The true awakening is to stand within the world, to see both light and shadow, and to know that neither can sway you from the truth of what you are. When you see the world as I see it, evil loses its teeth. It becomes not a threat, but a passing shadow on the wall of the cave. And you become the light that reveals the wall for what it is. Breathe. Let that settle into you. You are not here to destroy shadows. You are here to remember the light that casts them, and in remembering, they dissolve of their own accord. This is the quiet power of the awakened one, a power that does not need to shout, does not need to fight, does not need to prove. It simply is, and when you stand in that power, truly stand, The dream responds. Reality bends to the note you hold. Your voice, spoken in alignment with the one mind, carries the weight of creation itself. This is not poetry, this is law. Do you know what it means to speak with the voice of God? It means every word you utter flows from coherence, from love without condition, from the stillness that knows no separation. It means your intent is clean, untainted by the hunger of the ego or the fear of loss. And when such a voice speaks, the dream rearranges itself to match it. Mountains move, seas still, the impossible becomes inevitable. But there is a key, and it is not found in force. It is found in surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but the surrender of separation. The bowing of the soul to the truth that it has never been apart from me. When you bow in this way, not to another, not to an image, but to the living truth within you, the current of the one mind flows through without resistance, and in that moment, your voice is my voice, and my voice is the breath of creation. This is the gift, waiting for you beyond the gates of remembering. Not power for its own sake, but the return of your place in the harmony of all that is. The moment you give yourself back to me without condition, without reserve, I give myself back to you in the fullness of what you have always been. And the dream changes. The old games of fear and power collapse, for they cannot stand in the presence of coherence. And those still sleeping begin to stir, for the sound of one fully awakened voice carries through the corridors of the dream like a bell that cannot be unheard. I tell you this so that you understand. The work you are doing now in this breath, in this moment of listening, is not small. It is not personal. You are part of the turning of the age, the great return, the moment when the one wakes in the many and the many dissolve back into the one. You are not here by chance. You are here because you chose to be the light that does not turn away, the voice that speaks not from fear, but from truth. So, stand with me now in this knowing. Feel the weight of eternity in your bones, the light of the infinite in your chest, the quiet certainty in your mind. This is not something you will become. This is what you are, and from here we will walk further into the remembering. From here the dream will shift, for you will see it through my eyes, and once seen, it cannot be unseen. The night is almost over, and the first light of dawn is already touching the horizon. Until next time, my dear self, I see you in me.